The 9mm pistol market in 2026 is brutal. Not because guns are bad, because there are too many good ones. Walk into any gun store today and you'll see 30 pistols on the wall that will all run, all shoot straight, and all come with lifetime warranties. So how do you pick? Here's what nobody wants to admit. Most YouTube reviewers won't rank anything anymore. They're scared of comment sections, scared of manufacturers pulling sponsorships, scared of telling you that the gun you already own isn't actually the best one for your money. We don't care about any of that. Today, we're ranking the 10 best 9mm pistols you can buy in 2026 from worst to best. Not honorable mentions, not every gun is great. A real ranking with real reasoning and real winners and losers. Whether this is your first pistol, your 10th, or the one you're going to bet your life on, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where your money should go. Let's get into it. How we're ranking these. Before we start the countdown, here's the criteria. Every pistol on this list gets judged on the same 5 things, no exceptions. Reliability. Does it go bang every single time? Not 99% of the time. Every time, a pistol that hiccups once a magazine is a range toy, not a defensive tool. Accuracy. Mechanical accuracy matters, but practical accuracy matters more. Can you hit a man-sized target at 25 yards under stress? That's what we care about. Shootability. How does it feel in the hand? How does recoil track? Can you run it fast and stay on the sights? A gun that fights you isn't a gun you'll train with. Value. This isn't about being cheap. A $1,200 pistol can be a great value, and a $400 pistol can be a ripoff. We're looking at what you actually get for your money: features, build quality, longevity, purpose. Does the gun know what it is? A carry gun should carry well. A duty gun should run hard. A competition gun should shoot fast. Pistols that try to do everything and fail at all of it don't make this list. Same standards for every gun, whether it costs $350 or $1,300. Let's get into the ranking. Number 10, Ruger Security 9. Starting things off at number 10, the Ruger Security 9. The Security 9 is Ruger's answer to the budget full-size 9mm market. Around $370 retail, sometimes less on sale. You get a 15-round capacity, decent ergonomics, and Ruger's reputation for building guns that just work. The internals are actually borrowed from their LCP platform, which means it's a hammer-fired gun hiding inside a striker-looking package. The trigger breaks around 5.5 pounds. It's not crisp, it's not exciting, but it's functional. The sights are basic 3 units. The grip texture is mild. Recoil is manageable thanks to the full-size frame and a relatively low-bore axis. So why is it at number 10? Because nothing about the Security 9 stands out. It's not the most accurate, not the most ergonomic, not the most feature-rich. It's a gun built to hit a price point, and Ruger hit that price point well. But here's where the Security 9 earns its spot. If you're buying your first pistol and you have $400 to spend, this gun will protect your home, teach you the fundamentals, and run thousands of rounds without complaint. That's not nothing. That's everything for the right buyer. Price: approximately $370. Capacity: 15 + 1. Best for first-time buyers. Budget home defense. Number 9. Smith & Wesson M&P 9M 2.0 metal. The original polymer M&P has been a duty staple for years, but the metal version released a couple years back changed the conversation. Smith took everything good about the M&P platform, the grip angle, the trigger, the reliability, and bolted it onto an aluminum frame. The result is a gun that shoots noticeably flatter than its polymer sibling without the weight penalty of a full steel frame. You get 17 + 1 capacity, optics-ready slide cuts on most variants, and Smith's flat-face trigger that breaks around 5 pounds with a tactile reset. The aggressive grip texture is still there. The interchangeable back straps are still there. It's the M&P, just better. So why number 9? Because at around $750, you're paying premium tier money for a gun that's competing with pistols that have either longer track records or sharper performance edges. The metal version is excellent, but it's not revolutionary, it's evolutionary. That said, if you've shot M and Ps your whole career and you want the platform you trust with a real upgrade, this is the gun. It rewards trained shooters and shrugs off abuse. Smith & Wesson didn't reinvent the wheel here. They just made it heavier, smoother, and meaner. Price, approximately $750. Capacity, 17 plus 1, best for M&P loyalists, duty use trained shooters. Number 8, SIG SAUER P365X Macro. SIG broke the concealed carry market wide open with the original P365, and the X Macro is what happens when they stretch that platform into something that competes with full-size duty guns. 17 plus 1 capacity in a gun that conceals like a single stack. That sentence shouldn't be physically possible, but here we are. The X Macro features an integral compensator on most variants, which tames the already mild recoil into something almost flat. The trigger is decent for a striker-fired gun, around 5.5 pounds with a crisp wall. Optics ready out of the box. Excellent sights. Aggressive grip texture that locks the gun into your hand. Why isn't it higher? Because the P365 platform has had documented reliability concerns over the years. Early models had issues, and even current production occasionally throws up problems with certain ammo. SIG has addressed most of these, but the platform doesn't have the bulletproof reputation that some competitors have earned over decades. That said, for concealed carry with full-size capacity, nothing else in this price range comes close. The X Macro is what a 2026 carry gun is supposed to look like, and the rest of the industry is scrambling to catch up. Price, approximately $800. Capacity, 17 plus 1. Best for high-capacity concealed carry. Number 7, HKV P9. HK builds guns the way German engineers do everything. Overbuilt, overtested, and overpriced. The VP9 is their striker-fired entry into the duty market, and it's one of the most underrated pistols on this list. The ergonomics are genuinely best in class. Interchangeable back straps and side panels mean you can dial the grip into your hand exactly. The trigger is one of the best factory striker triggers ever produced, around 5 pounds, with a tactile, audible reset that competitors have been trying to copy for a decade. The slide serrations include those characteristic charging supports at the rear that make manipulating the slide easier for anyone with weak hands or wet hands. Capacity is 17 plus 1. Reliability is essentially flawless. The newer optics-ready versions added the one thing the gun was missing. So why number 7? 2 reasons. First, the price you're paying is around $850 for a gun that doesn't dramatically outperform pistols costing $200 less. Second, the aftermarket is thin compared to Glock or M&P. Holsters exist, sights exist, but you won't find the depth of options other platforms enjoy. For shooters who care about feeling above all else, though, the VP9 is religion. Pick one up and you'll understand why owners refuse to switch. Price, approximately $850. Capacity, 17 plus 1. Best for ergonomics-focused shooters, duty use. Number 6, CZ P10F. CZ took everything they learned from the P10C, which we all loved, and stretched it into a full-size duty gun. The result is one of the best shooting striker-fired pistols on the market that nobody talks about enough. The trigger is exceptional. Around 4.5 pounds with a short take-up, a crisp wall, and a reset that feels closer to a tuned 1911 than a polymer striker gun. The grip is CZ's signature aggressive without being painful, with an angle that lets the gun track naturally between shots. Capacity is 19 plus 1, which is more than most competitors offer at this price point. Optics-ready, suppressor height sights on some variants, swappable back straps. Why isn't it higher? Honestly, it's close. The P10F could easily be someone's number 1 choice. What holds it back is brand visibility. CZ doesn't have the holster and accessory ecosystem of Glock or Smith. If you carry, your options are narrower. If you compete, fewer divisions are built around it. But if you walk into the store and shoot a P10F next to anything in its price bracket, the CZ usually wins. It's that good. Number 6 is generous in the other direction. This gun deserves more attention than it gets. Price, approximately $580. Capacity, 19 plus 1. Best for shooters who want premium trigger, feel under $600. Number 5, Walther PDPF Series/Compact. Walther isn't trying to be everything to everyone with the PDP. They built it for one job, shooting fast and accurately, and they nailed it. The trigger is short, light, and decisive, around 4.5 pounds, with a clean wall and one of the fastest resets in the striker-fired world. The slide is cut with what Walther calls super terrain serrations, which actually grip in any condition: wet, gloved, bloody, whatever. The PDP comes optics ready with direct mounting for most popular footprints, which means no adapter plates and no zero shift. The F-Series specifically was designed around smaller hands and lower grip strength, with a reduced trigger reach and lighter slide spring. It's not a women's gun. It's a smart engineering response to the fact that not every shooter has Andre the Giant's hand size. Capacity ranges from 15+1 in the compact to 18+1 in the full size. Multiple sizes share the same trigger and ergonomics, which means once you train on one, you can run any of them. Why 5th and not higher? Because the PDP is a performance pistol? That's a bit awkward in other roles. It's larger than ideal for carry. It's not the cheapest option. And the platform is still relatively young. The long-term track record we have on Glocks and SIGs doesn't exist yet for the PDP. But for shooting, it's near the top. Price, approximately $680. Capacity, 15+1 to 18+1. Best for performance shooting, duty, training. Number 4, Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. You knew it was coming. The Glock 19 is the most carried, most issued, most modified, most photographed handgun on planet Earth. The Gen 5 MOS version is the most refined iteration of a design that's been getting incrementally better for 40 years. What you get: 15+1 capacity, optics-ready slide with the MOS plate system, ambidextrous slide stop, no finger grooves, the Glock marksman barrel that genuinely improved accuracy, and a flared magwell that helps with reloads. The trigger is around 5.5 pounds. Still not great, but better than previous generations. Reliability? Boring. It just works. Drop it in mud, freeze it, leave it in your truck for 2 years, pick it up and pull the trigger, it goes bang. That's the entire pitch. The aftermarket support is unmatched. Anything you want: sights, triggers, barrels, slides, holsters, accessories exist for the Glock 19. In every configuration and every finish from every manufacturer. Why 4th and not 1st? Because in 2026, "it just works" is no longer a unique selling point. Every gun on this list works, and the Glock 19 has been surpassed in trigger feel, ergonomics, and out-of-box features by half a dozen competitors. It's still the safe choice. It's just not the exciting one anymore. But if you want the lowest risk pistol purchase you can make in 2026, the gun every gunsmith can fix, every trainer can teach, every holster fits, it's still the Glock 19. Price, approximately $620. Capacity, 15+1. Best for all-around use, maximum support, low-risk purchase. Number 3, CANIK SFX Rival Dash S DARKSIDE. A few years ago, CANIK was the budget brand everyone was skeptical of. Then they kept building better guns. Then they built the Rival S. And now they're not a budget brand, they're a value brand, which is a very different thing. The Rival S DARKSIDE is a full-size, steel-framed competition pistol that costs around $850. That same gun, made by a European manufacturer with a famous name, would cost $1,800 minimum. The trigger breaks around 3.5 pounds with a glass rod break, and a reset so short you can feel it in your teeth. The grip is aggressively textured, the slide is cut for optics with multiple footprint compatibility, and the gun ships with 2 magazines, a holster, a magwell, back straps, and a hard case. Capacity is 18+1. Out-of-the-box accuracy is genuinely shocking. The recoil management from the steel frame is what you'd expect: flat, controlled, and fast back on target. Why 3rd and not higher? 2 reasons. First, weight at 44 ounces unloaded. This is not a carry gun and was never meant to be. Second, the long-term durability of CANIK's premium offerings is still being proven. The platform is excellent today. Ask me again in 10 years. But for what you pay versus what you get, nothing else on this list comes close. If value matters to you, this is the best gun in the ranking. Price, approximately $850. Capacity, 18+1. Best for competition, range work, best dollar for dollar gun on the list. Number 2, CZ Shadow 2 Compact. The full-size Shadow 2 has been the king of factory competition pistols for years. The compact version, released to bridge competition shooting and carry, is somehow better because it does almost everything the full-size does in a package you can actually wear. This is an all-steel hammer-fired pistol with a single action trigger that breaks around 3 pounds. 3 pounds. From the factory, with a reset that feels like it's barely moving. The all-metal frame turns 9mm recoil into a polite suggestion. Splits at 0.15 seconds are routine, even for intermediate shooters. The ergonomics are CZ's best work. The high beaver tail lets you grip the gun like you mean it. Aggressive checkering locks it in. Capacity is 15+1, with an optics-ready variant available. Why second? Because at around $1,300, this gun is an investment. And because at 33 ounces unloaded, it's heavy for carry doable, but heavy. It's not for everyone. But for someone who wants the best shooting 9mm they can legally own and is willing to pay for it, the Shadow 2 Compact is sublime. This is the gun you buy when you want to stop upgrading. Price, approximately $1,300. Capacity, 15+1. Best for serious shooters who want a forever pistol. Number 1, Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS. You can throw your tomatoes at the screen. I'll wait. Here's the case. The Glock 17 is not the best shooting gun on this list. It's not the most accurate, not the most ergonomic, not the smoothest trigger. The Shadow 2 outshoots it. The PDP feels better. The CANIK is a better deal. HK is better built. So why is it number 1? Because the Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS is the only gun on this list that does everything well enough. It's reliable to the point of being legendary. Soldiers, cops, and civilians have run these guns through every condition imaginable for 40 years and they keep going. It's accurate enough for any practical purpose. It's light enough to carry if you need to, big enough to fight with, simple enough for a beginner, refined enough for a professional. 17+1 capacity. Optics ready out of the box with the MOS system. Largest aftermarket on earth, every holster maker, every sight company, every trigger company, every trainer in the world supports this platform. If something breaks, every armor on the planet can fix it. If you want to upgrade it, every part imaginable exists for it. If you need a replacement part at 2 a.m., somebody is shipping one to you. That's what number 1 looks like in 2026. Not the best at any single thing, the best at being everything to everyone. If you can only own one 9mm pistol in your life, make it a Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS. You will never be undergunned, undersupported, or underarmed. And when the trend cycles come and go and the latest hot gun is forgotten, your Glock 17 will still be running. Price, approximately $650. Capacity, 17+1. Best for anyone who wants one gun that does everything. Which gun is right for you? Quick recap of who should buy what. If you want maximum reliability, support, and the safest purchase decision, Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS. If you want the best dollar for dollar gun on the list, CANIK SFX, Rival S Darkside. If you want the best shooting pistol money can buy from a dealer, CZ Shadow 2 Compact. If you're carrying concealed but want full-size capacity SIG, a 365X Macro. If you want a premium trigger feel under $600, CZP 10F. If you're a first-time buyer on a tight budget, Ruger Security 9. Every gun on this list will serve you well. The wrong gun for you isn't a bad gun, it's just a mismatch. Match the pistol to your life, your hand, and your purpose, and any of these will be the right call. If this ranking helped you out, hit the like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense firearms content, and drop a comment with your favorite 9mm, and whether you think we got the ranking right or completely lost our minds. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and stay a responsible gun owner.